All I was supposed to do is press 2 buttons, and it's the 4th tool I broke, and now I need to find out what to do. Guess we'll find out together on Machining 101. Boss man!
What'd you do? What happened?
Well, I may have accidentally bumped the reset on the control, but I also can't remember if I put it in too far. Can you just show me how to properly install this thing?
Absolutely. Let's do this right the first time. 4th time?
Second.
Second? All right.
Well, I already knew how to put the new one in.
Did you?
I did. It's right there.
Okay. How do we get the old one out?
My mind.
So how'd that go for you? Nothing's happening.
Okay, well, it didn't work out too well, but I at least knew enough to get this and put that in.
Excellent. Did you wipe it all off?
Oh, you have to do that?
Well, yeah, it comes covered in oil.
Oh. Well, I sprayed it down with the air nozzle. Is that enough?
No, you're definitely going to need a towel. We're going to have to wipe everything off, make sure everything's really nice and clean.
I'm going to grab a towel for my sweat and my collet.
You got everything all nice and clean?
It's shiny.
Wonderful. So that tap collet here, you're going to notice that the back of it's square.
Ah.
The back of your tap is square also.
Oh.
So that's really important when you're changing taps. When you have these square collets, that when you put this in here, right now it's not in, you're going to have to rotate it and make sure it's in all of the way.
That's the step I missed, boss.
If this isn't in all the way and we don't reteach the end, when we wrap it to 0.1 in front of our part, we're going to be into the part already and this is going to be destroyed.
That explains a lot.
You're also going to notice there's 2 flat spots on this collet here. That's going to enable this to not spin as we're tapping.
It's the second place I went wrong.
This is going to go in here, and you're going to have to rotate this until those flat spots line up, and this will go in all the way.
All the way?
So this 4mm screw up here, you're just going to tighten that with the T-handle until it bottoms out. I don't need your muscles, I just need it.
Is it wrong to be strong?
Absolutely not. You're just going to tighten that until it bottoms out. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to torque it. You don't need a cheater bar. None of that stuff. This hydraulic holder.
A cheater bar?
No cheater bars.
I found that place once.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did that go for you? We're going to have to indicate this tap to our part and this chunk over here that we're going to be tapping. So we need to make sure everything's in line.
And how do I do that?
We got to go get an indicator, a mag base, and we got to see how good our zero really is.
Shop field trip?
Sure.
Mag base for indicator.
Really easy, right? It's in the cabinet over there.
Field trip.
Open the cabinet. Mag base is over there. Orange box. Yep.
Orange, my favorite color. Orange, you glad you have this in the gearing cabinet?
We're gonna get our indicator.
Orange again?
Yep.
Orange, you happy there's more orange? Hey, so what's orange and black, orange and black, orange and black? A tiger rolling downhill. Ready, boss.
All right, open the box.
Now where do I put this, boss?
So, you're driving me crazy. Much better.
So I have to tighten this. Ah, I see what's going on here.
Yes.
Ah. All right. So, where do I put this now?
Down on here like this. And this is just press the magnet on and off.
Oh, I thought you were a magician for a second. I'm like, man.
No, it does work like magic.
Great balance.
Well, a little bit.
So so it's got an electromagnet, and then you stick it on there.
Yep.
All right, what's the next step?
We're going to need to index this turret and get this tool lined up before we put the indicator in. So before we take our test indicator out, we're going to need to index this turret and move this to 0 on our X and our Y to see if this tool is on center with this part.
We're just going to move the tap to that hole, right?
Correct. So this is where we're going to use MDI, and we're going to find out what offsets we're using in the program, so we can replicate that and find out if those offsets are any good.
Let's do it.
So over here on N9, we're on the sub side, and we're at T0226. That's the physical location 2, but the offset 26.
Gotcha.
So we're going to need to replicate that in MDI. Now this tool is in line, so we're just going to have to move our X down to 0 and find out if we're on center. So I do want to double check our program and find out what we're using for offsets. And in order for us to replicate what the machine does in its part program, we're going to need to actually move to this Y position because we're tapping at X0 and we're compensating a little bit on our Y axis down 4 thousandths and 4 tenths. So we're going to G0, X0, and this machine's going to wrap it down. I'm going to look real quick before I hit go because this X, everything's clear here, this is going to come down. So, and it's going to do it in rapid because I did G0. So if I slow down my rapid override, it won't be as fast.
Gotcha.
When I hit go, X comes down to 0. Now they're in line.
So how do I know if it's perfectly aligned?
You're going to need to use that indicator. What we're going to try to do is, this is a really sensitive piece of equipment. It's kind of made like a watch.
Does it cry a lot?
No. It's a relative measurement. If I look at the measurement up here and I look at the measurement down here, it's going to tell me how far away this is. And it's going to do that as we rotate around, and it'll very accurately tell me if the spindle center is on line with the tool.
Gotcha. Can I see that for a second?
Absolutely.
This indicator is unlike a different clock I've ever seen. Why has it got 2 5s and 2 10s, boss?
The numbers themselves aren't as important as the direction. Really, we're just looking for as close to 0 as possible.
Got it.
Right. This indicator in particular, you'll notice it says 0.0005. In between every line is 5 tenths or half of a thousand. This is our axis that we're going to move. So we're going to take Z and we're going to pay attention to what our increment is. So there's a bunch of lines and numbers around this handle here. Right? Handle. It's a handle.
Even an FNG can't screw that up.
They made it pretty simple. And it's either times 1, times 10, or 100. And what that does is that changes how every click right now is 1,000.
This guy?
Yep, 1, 1, 1, 1. Whereas if I go to X1, it's every 10th. That's going to be a tenth of 1,000. And then if I do times 100, it's going to be 10 thousandths at a time. So depending on where your increment is, that's going to really affect how quickly this machine's going to move when I move this handle.
Makes sense.
That's incredibly important when we have delicate equipment. So we're only going to be moving in tens.
So your FNG should do the X1 until they get used to this.
Yeah. You're going to want to start slow and work your way up. Right now, this indicator isn't touching this yet. We're going to very slowly bring this indicator down. That way the needle moves.
And that's what the rotation knob does on the magnetic base?
There's an adjustment knob here. That's just going to actually rotate and lift this entire works here. And I'm just going to very slowly bring that down there. And then we're going to need to check this indicator dial all the way around this tool to find out how close to 0 we are.
So if it's on 0, it'll stay on the 0 reading?
Well, that's the goal.
Got it.
X is parallel with this guideway on the machine here. That's also going to be parallel with this line. So you're going to want to check when this needle is down here. Check this reading against the reading 180 degrees ago.
Got it.
So we need to see what the needle says there, and what the needle says there. And we're going to have to adjust the machine until we get them both the same.
Got it.
Then we're going to do the same thing, 90 degrees to that, on our y-axis, underneath, way down here, and on the top. And we want all four of those readings to be as close together as possible. Because we can always move where 0 is, that doesn't matter. We just want the readings the same.
I know my part is good.
Well, we know how far it's off. We're going to have to set some offsets.
So let's set the final offset so we can put a wrap to changing my tab.
What was that offset for this tab here?
T0226.
Perfect.
So it looks like we have one last step.
Correct. So there is no Y offset for this tool. So we're going to need to change that in the program.
Gotcha.
So it is 10 thousandths and 8 tenths. Back to our program, we're going to need to add that to that number. Do you know, on the top of your head, what minus 0.0044 is? Plus 10 thousandths and 8 tenths?
Just to be sure, because I messed up so many times the first time, 6 thou and 4 tenths?
Yes, 6 thousandths and 4 tenths is our new updated Y value. So how do we type that in?
Go to MDI?
Nope, we're going to change our program. What's your number from your calculator?
0.0064.
Okay, go ahead and type that in.
6 thou and 4 tenths.
You're going to hit Alter, and this will update.
So I don't need to do end of block?
Nope.
Got it.
Perfect.
So now we're ready?
Well, we got to get our tools out of here, and yeah, we're ready to make some parts.
Clean up. Let's go to work. Teamwork. Let's go to work. All right, boss man. Let's go. Put our tools back.
Let's go.
Wait.
Wait, what?
Shop field trip.
Come on, let's go. Got to do them one at a time. It's open.
Yes, sir. For all you FNGs out there that want to help the other FNGs that get yelled at every day, make sure you put your tools back. You might not get yelled at too much. Thanks, boss man. Good Kenny and the Greg.
You know, I have to send this back and get it repaired, right?
I know, I was hoping that you wouldn't fire me because I have like 4 more of them like that.
We'll do some paperwork later.
Uh-oh. Do I get a raise?
Probably not.
Oh. Thanks for watching this episode of Machining 101, How to Change a Tap. Once again, Boss Man saves the day. And he doesn't know, but it's 6 tools. But I didn't want to say anything because he already said something about paperwork. This episode of Machining 101 was brought to you by Sonny's the Car Wash Factory. Sonny's is the largest conveyorized car wash manufacturer in the world. For more information, visit sonnysdirect.com. I've broken so many tools. Carbide companies are calling me to test their tools out to see if it's FNG proof. I'm a 5th generation FNG, and if you want to know a little bit of history, they only invented bronze because the FNG was like, hey, this metal stuff over here, what happens if like we put it on fire and then it turns into more metal stuff? And it was the FNG that broke the first sword trying to chop a piece of wood, but then he ended up losing his 3 feet. And that was my great uncle, Marcello Serio. You know the last name Serio means serious in Italian because I am serious about learning.